So hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today is the day. Today is the pre-HHN at home giveaway to actually build up the hype for tomorrow's festivities. That is going to be participated by many of the content creators in the HHN community, and this is including contests, giveaways, and more content to be coming to you exclusively for tomorrow. So in today's video I am going to be talking about the queens of HHN, and by that I mean the women of HHN. So they're not talked about enough, so this video is what's going to be covered. But first, intro. So let's start from the beginning. So we are going to actually start with Cindy Kane, who is the daughter of the caretaker. In Islands of Adventure, they actually had the Howling Horror Nights event, and it was going to be called Islands of Fear, where Cindy Kane was supposed to be the icon for that year, but due to the string of things in that year, there had actually been a number of child abductions, so they weren't able to go with the idea and sadly scrapping Cindy from the equation. But the idea was that she was supposed to be there, and then you actually see disturbed things from her mind, and all the scare actors were all her playthings. So we actually get to see a little bit of insight of what it's like to be in Cindy Kane's mind. So Cindy Kane actually first appeared in the house Scream House Revisited in 2003, and then later on in Scream House Resurrection, we are actually confirmed that she is indeed the caretaker's daughter. And then a few years later, in 2010, she actually gets a house called The Orphanage, Ashes to Ashes. And of course, the lovely Cindy Kane actually gets invited back for the house Jack Presents 25 years of monster and mayhem. So Cindy Kane actually marks the beginning of female history in HHN. Next, we have the storyteller, also known as Elizabeth Strict. She is an old lady. Of course, we're all creeped out by her as she reads stories and also tortures her victims. But there's so much more to her in her backstory. As a little girl, she is actually tormented by a winged demon who is threatening to skin her alive. And in retaliation for it, she actually eats the demon and tries to inherit the powers. And when she successfully does, she actually rips apart her dolls and actually kills her mother with a hammer. Not only that, but being one of Fear's vessels, she actually transports the guest into her newest story called Terror Quantus, where we are introduced to the ultimate Terror Queen. Howling Horror Nights 16, she is actually brought back with the three other supreme evils of Jack, the caretaker, and the director. So that would also make her a supreme evil, as well as they are all brought back to bring mayhem, and all the houses are actually based around each of those icon stories. The next one is kind of a lengthy one, but I'm going to give you the shortened version of it. So in 2008, we are introduced to Howling Horror Nights Reflections of Fear, where we are actually introduced to a very detail-oriented character that we have known her throughout years' time as a folklore, of course, a little ghost tale that we tell our children just to scare them, or an innocent little game that we all played in school to see how everybody was a chicken. And I'm talking now about Bloody Mary. So this is actually the first icon that is an original license and an original universal icon at the same time, which is crazy to me. But what's crazy about Bloody Mary is that she is actually a psychiatrist in this universe of Howling Horror Nights. Long ago in 1958, Dr. Mary Agana was actually a psychiatrist who experimented on her patients by using their fears and phobias against them. And the more she experimented on them, the more her mentality took a toll on her, as she attempted to kill her patients while trying to cure them at the same time. Ouch. But she wanted to know how their fears and dreams worked together, and the more she experimented, she wrote more on her journal, the sloppier her writing became, and she just went crazy. And of course, even took to the point where she killed the doctor and started wearing his lab coat. However, this was just the meat and bones of the Halloween Horror Nights original icon. So there's so much more to her history, guys. I could talk about her forever, but since I want to make this very brief and hold your attention for as long as I can, please do your research. She's awesome. Are we going to be testing our luck today? So we are going to be talking about Halloween Horror Nights 21 with the lovely Lady Luck. I was actually very surprised when I did research into her. She actually has just as much backstory as our lovely Bloody Mary. So the personification of Lady Luck is whoever gambles with her, she guarantees that bad things will happen to them regardless of the outcome. So the story goes is that Lady Luck actually gambles with a prisoner from Shady Brook named Floyd. During that time, Floyd actually had a buddy named Benny who actually won against a game of poker with Lady Luck. But later on, Floyd witnesses Lady Luck in her monstrous form and her minions basically tearing him to shreds and killing him. Her minions were basically her past victims, helping her commit these crimes. But he was actually lucky to get away from Lady Luck and fakes that he is mentally insane to actually hide from her. But once Lady Luck finds out where Floyd is, he tries to not have his life be taken away by hers, so he takes away his own life. So Lady Luck gets really upset at this. So Lady Luck now makes sure that everyone does take an extra chance when it comes to gambling with her to make sure that she gets the outcome she wants. So very much like Bloody Mary, instead of actually lingering through Halloween Horror Nights history, during that year, Lady Luck actually plays a role in each house that had premiered that year, having to do with a theme of luck in some shape or form. I guess like they always say, the house always wins. I don't think you guys can stand a chance with this one. So the next one I am going to be talking about is Chance, a super happy-go-lucky clown that is the right hand of Jack the Clown. Let's actually start from the beginning. Chance actually first appeared in the Carnival of Carnage in 2007, normally not having a speaking role, with a white corset, a couple of little colorful buttons, and a red tutu, not really saying much. A couple of years go by and she actually appears again in 20 Years of Fear at Halloween Horror Nights, being next to Jack or just being around the vicinity of Jack, just interacting with guests but not really speaking too much. And of course in 2015 she makes a return with a whole new look, with the polka dot bra, the red corset, the red tutu, multicolor hair, and she actually has a speaking role being acted by Erin Klein, who is amazing, and she returns for a show called The Carnage Returns, where, you know, Jack and Chance literally torture their victims in front of their maniacs, but we're all a bunch of freaks and we enjoy it anyway. So we actually see a little bit more of Chance's personality. We actually learn that she's not a trained professional at her knife play, and of course she is obsessed with her victim Amanda. So during Halloween Horror Nights 26, Chance finally becomes the icon with a very bondagey look, but also we actually see an insight of her mind, as we all know that Jack's locked away and she's out to play. While Chance is the perfect crazy clown girlfriend archetype, she also represents those women that can be happy and crazy, but if you piss her off, you probably will die. So the next icon I am going to be talking about is the Voodoo Queen. She's not exactly an icon, but she has appeared during the event a considerable amount of times to actually be considered one. First appearing in Bayou of Blood in 2014, where they actually had their own scare zone plus a show, but the show was actually scrapped mid-event. She actually made a comeback during Halloween Horror Nights icons. And of course, in 2017, she actually gets her own house, also known as Dead Waters. An amazing house, definitely a lot of twists and turns, giving you those lovely voodoo vibes that, you know, just can't resist. Last but not least, I am going to be talking about the best female Halloween Horror Nights icon of all, and that is Julie Zimmerman, who actually came up with Halloween Horror Nights. She was the creative director for the Halloween event here in Orlando, and she practically saved the park during its slow time, literally using the jaw cue to actually start up the Dungeon of Terror and many more years of Halloween Horror Nights to come in the future. She only served for at least 2 to 3 years in Halloween Horror Nights before she actually moved into a future project, but she is the whole reason why we have this event today. So thank you, Julie Zimmerman. So tell me, Halloween Horror Nights community, who is your favorite female HHN icon? So that is my question for the giveaway if you guys haven't seen it on Twitter yet. So that is my question to be able to get a chance to win. For best answers, I am going to be giving away these 3 prizes, first, second, third, based off of my original concept of what these remind me of from each Halloween Horror Nights year, or some pick and choose. But definitely something that makes you guys think of Halloween Horror Nights when you're actually applying this on your face, or whoever you're gifting this to, whether it be your girlfriend, your boyfriend, all you makeup queens, drag queens everywhere, like, or non-binary people. Like, anybody can actually win this if you are a hardcore Halloween Horror Nights fan and you enjoy the event as much as I do. And of course, last but not least, do not forget why we're actually having this event, and it is to bond and connect with a lot of the Halloween Horror Night fans all over, and just talk about what we love the most and what we look forward to every Halloween season. And of course, I know that Horror Night Nightmares is actually having the HHN at Home event participate in the Trevor Project to support the LGBTQ plus community. So please go down my description. If you have not donated already, I will have the link for that as well. So I hope you guys have fun and you guys are just as excited as I am for HHN at Home. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at HHN Cultist, and of course subscribe to be notified of videos like this. Anything with makeup, vlogs, anything that I do horror related, you will be notified. And of course, the support would mean so much to me, and let's have an amazing HHN at Home. So I'll see you guys during the weekend. Bye.